Well, hey and welcome back. I did promise in the Buckner Regis video that I would do a Wi-Fi or an internet connected one. So this is that video.
I can't. Do you need to be closer to me? Do you?
I'm here.
Because you're a bit far away, look. Okay. Right, hang on. Right. Let's start this conversation then. Which camera's the main camera?
You can look at either, don't worry about it.
Okay. We'll start this conversation. I'm starting it. Because I'm the ignoramus here, not you.
No, that's fine. You
Okay.
can start with that.
Some people, when they go away in their caravan, want to go away and completely switch off from electronic life, or you might be older and not into it, and that's fine. That's not us. We want connectivity, and it's something we've battled and played around with since we've had a caravan, which was 2012.
God,
So
yeah.
that's 9 years now.
Yep, that is true. And we have, obviously us, but our children, as they've grown up and gotten older, they also want to get online and do stuff. And as you know, with children, that means you've got to be online all the time.
And also,
they don't have any downtime, do they?
yeah, and when we've gone on holiday with them in the summer, particularly when we went to Italy, where you can't get online at all for a week, honestly, you'd think we'd punished them with terrible punishment. They feel like FOMO, missing out on everything, aren't they?
Exactly. Now, we do have to make it clear that we have been to the same site in Italy several times.
Yeah.
And the first time we didn't have much internet at all, did we? Just use whatever our phones could do. And that's probably a good place to start, isn't it?
Yeah, but you have to remember you're downloading loads of data. It can be really expensive. When you get back, you're going to get a very expensive bill.
So we've been to this site several times in Italy, and yeah, mobile phones was all we had at the beginning because we didn't have iBoost and all this other stuff that we have now. And it was, you had international roaming, but the quality of the signal was rubbish.
And I don't know if you remember, travelling backwards and forwards through countries, I had multiple problems and was ringing up helplines because it wouldn't connect. It's just a faff you don't need.
Well, that's 3, isn't it? So just 3 all over. Because we've not had a good experience with 3. Sorry about that if some of you are on there, but internationally going across borders and that, they were just not very good at all. My company provided my SIM card, so that was on Vodafone.
That was alright.
That was okay.
You were alright, yeah.
But the signal in certain countries was rubbish.
I'm on Vodafone now, I should say.
And I'm not. My company's moved to O2.
Yeah.
So we got this issue with speed and bandwidth. Now I'm going to simplify things a little bit further down. You've got a phone in your hand and it's got some bars of signal strength.
Yeah,
and you've
4.
also got a wireless connectivity because
Which only got 2.
Which only got 2. But it's speed and bandwidth that you're looking at. Now, it doesn't tell you, does it, that we've got 350 meg in that house.
No.
All you've got is 2 bars.
Yeah.
But you don't know what speed you're going to get from that. You don't know how big that pipe is.
No.
Right? And that's the problem that we got with these phones. And in general, when we talk about internet connectivity. So when you go away, you might see like 2 bars on your phone, and you're going, well, that's not going to be very good. But as we saw in Germany, 2 bars in the phone is actually better than some of the ones we've seen in devices, which is exactly the same 2 bars.
And that's because the megs, so the bandwidth is better. Is that right?
So, for example, the pipe that came into the Germany site might have been a lot bigger than the pipe, or the straw, I'm going to call it, that comes into the one site in devices. Right? You're still showing the same bars of signal strength, but you're not going to be getting anywhere near the same size. Because in where was it? One of the Italy sites, they were charging us for their standard bandwidth, but they were also charging us slightly more for a week for their all singing, all dancing bandwidth, which we did have in the end, because all of us can get good access to the internet, whereas on the other one we couldn't. But it still showed for 3 bars actually in their case.
So if you're going on holiday to somewhere like Italy and your family and you want access to the internet and you haven't got all the gubbins, pay for the better service.
So I suppose you can blame all this on Steve Jobs, because when he got together with his crew, they came out with something that would eventually be called an iPhone, and so to the problem. the very nature of all these devices, tablets, iPhones and even laptops, being portable means that I can take them with me when I go away in the caravan. And so that brings us to this very problem. How do we get decent internet speeds in our caravan and or motorhome, or anything else that you want to do, even in a tent? And so let's take a start by looking at typically what happens on a site when you get there. So the site would have a mast which is going to provide your wireless, and they have bought a service from an internet service provider. In this case, they're buying in 100 meg. Now what you'll tend to find on a site is that there are more than one mast. In this case there are 5, all receiving 20 meg each. And then you come along with your one device and connect to that mast via its wireless network, and you've got 20 meg. So happy days. But that's not what happens, is it? Some inconsiderate person comes along next to you, connects their one device as well to the same mast, and now you both got half the speed you had. But 10 meg, still happy days. However, that's not what happens either, Steve, I hear you shouting. For example, the 2 buildings that you can see, one on the left and the one on the top right hand side, had the 2 masts on for this particular site. And as you can see, how many caravans were there? Now the internet speed was alright at 2 o'clock in the morning, but when everybody was awake, forget it. Okay, so let's have a look at some solutions. Let's imagine that there are masts all over the place, the internet speed is superb, and I've now got my caravan and it's now got 3 devices in it. I've got a smart TV because I want to stream some video to it, watch the football match on this afternoon, and also Fiona's got a laptop out, she's a hunky-dory, and we're getting emails and messages on my phone itself. So what I could do is purchase 3 licenses from the site Wi-Fi. We all connect to the wireless network, and happy days. Now you might be thinking, well, that's an expensive way to do it, each one of you having to purchase individual licenses. You have to bear in mind, it might not be a day rate, it might have to be the minimum of 1 week. You might be on foreign sites and they suggest that it's got to be 2 weeks, or who knows. But either way, there is another option. So what about all those devices connect to a locally installed box which has an aerial, and you point it to that antenna which has got a good signal, and I only have to pay once to the site for their Wi-Fi, but actually my booster box is giving it to 3 devices. And the one that I have when I get to scenarios like this is called iBoost. Now also it's a directional aerial that sticks onto the roof there, or the side of the caravan, via a sucker, which can then pick up, I don't know, hotspots, or even, which I've done in the past, the Wi-Fi that's at reception, because normally that's all that works and the ones on site don't. So it's another way I can get internet and bring it into the caravan. Now I'm not going to suggest for 1 second that the Wi-Fi or the internet access on the actual sites are any good, because some of those might be awful, and all the iBoost is doing is bringing what is already an awful signal into the caravan. So there has to be another way. Well, there is, and this time it's a little box with the SIM card in it. So this is what we call a MiFi device. So basically everything connects to that, just like it did on the iBoost, but we're not connecting to the site wireless network. We are connecting to the cloud, the internet. But it's just like a mobile phone. It all depends on how good the signal is, what speeds and feeds you're going to get. And so to recap, it's a box that creates a wireless network that everybody connects to, and then it connects to the mobile network of the SIM card that you've got inside, and then the mobile network in turn connects to the rest of the world. Anyway, enough of the pictures. Let's go on and show you this stuff actually in situ and working. So we are using iBoost and we're connected to the local Wi-Fi, and that's a bit crap, isn't it? 1 meg, not good, and floats around 1 on that. We are getting notifications, so you are getting internet access, but it's not.
Can't even send an email.
So you were able to send an email then?
Yeah, I did check and I was able to send an email. However, you've got to remember we're on a site and it's 8:16. You know, I know that most people on this site are older, but as soon as loads of people start logging on and using it for
Okay,
different things, you know, that I think that'll be trickier.
Oh, it will do. See,
So
see if you can browse the web.
Okay.
Go to Amazon and see if you can search some stuff.
All right.
So we're connected to the iBoost here. Now the Wi-Fi is not on the Caravan and Motorhome Club site. The Wi-Fi is not free, and it is chargeable. So you're paying for this service. So it's all right if you can just send emails and maybe browse the web, but you know, anything more than that, you're going to have to buy something. So, and on that note, we have the little Netgear box. Just turn this on. This is so when it boots up, this will have the Sky mobile SIM in it, and we pay for that a month as well. But the nice thing about Sky is you can roll over your data from 1 month to the next. So I think we've got 10 gig in there that we pay for a month, and we haven't used that yet because we're using the rollover. So as you can see, we have got half bars of Sky. Nobody connected, so connect to the Netgear, Fiona, please.
Okay. By the way, yeah, I was able to search on Amazon.
Cool.
Right. Which one is it? 5G or the other one?
Doesn't matter which.
Okay.
5G is slightly better, slightly faster. And then this will then say one connection, which it does. 8.33 gig used. And then do your speed test when connected.
I'm connected, I am. Right, I'll do my speed test again. I'll have to come out of that and go back into it, because as far as it's concerned, it's done it. And on another night, how lucky we were to get out walking Jess just before it started raining again. And she had a decent run.
I haven't got stabilisation, so can you stop shaking your leg?
No. Well, I don't know what these figures mean, but Steve will be able to tell you. Well, so far, download 25.59.
Instead of 1, that's considerably higher.
And upload, still doing it. Takes a while because it's building the ads on the page.
Yeah.
Upload 18.63.
That's considerably higher.
Well, you need that if you're like us. Well, you know, I run my own business. Steve's connected a lot, and obviously we do our YouTube channel, so we have great need for internet when we're away, and we can work when we're away. So it's necessary. The Caravan Club service is just simply not good enough for what we need. For others, for you, yeah, it might be absolutely fine. You might want to be totally unconnected, but that's not the world we live in.
No, it's just, you know, because the last 3 sites we've been on the UK now, and we've been using this box abroad because we've got international roaming on as well, both in Germany and in France, and each time we can get 2 bars or more. But then if I put the external aerial up, I can jack that up to 3 or 4 or 5, and get really good speed. So I'm quite happy with that. So what we'll do is we'll say goodbye to the subscription to the Caravan Club, and yeah, use this instead.
Well, that's it for this one. I am going to end this here, but please look out for next week, where we'll be doing Wi-Fi version 2, and then we'll see how all this stuff works in Germany, where our testing went on there, and I'll also talk about that aerial.